99% of seniors omit this bad odor and don't even know. Here's how to fix it. The widespread yet overlooked odor issue among seniors extends beyond mere social embarrassment, indicating deeper biological shifts that emerge over time and often remain unnoticed due to a gradual decline in the sense of smell among aging individuals. And although many might attribute senior odor to general negligence in personal hygiene, the reality is that hormonal fluctuations, changes in skin cell turnover, and shifts in the microbiome play an under-discussed role in shaping this phenomenon. These subtle alterations create an environment where odor-causing bacteria thrive, sneaking under the radar until someone else politely or awkwardly points it out, fueling the misconception that a slight change in personal scent is simply part of growing older rather than a sign of potential underlying issues. Seniors may brush off hints of unusual odor, believing they are immune to such concerns, yet countless studies suggest that close to 99% of older adults experience some degree of distinct odor caused by reduced hormone production, alterations in sweat composition, and a weakening ability to detect scents in their own surroundings. Family members often hesitate to discuss the subject due to fears of causing embarrassment, inadvertently allowing the problem to fester to the point of damaging personal relationships or triggering social withdrawal, as seniors may become self-conscious once they realize that others notice an unpleasant smell. Dehydration, in particular, concentrates sweat, enabling odor-causing bacteria to thrive, and older adults who reduce fluid intake out of fear of frequent bathroom trips can unknowingly heighten the risk of a detectable smell that negatively impacts confidence, social engagement, and overall well-being. Healthcare professionals stress that this widespread problem is not inevitable, since targeted lifestyle adjustments, such as improving nutrition, hydrating adequately, and fine-tuning one's hygiene routine, can significantly curb or even eliminate persistent odors that seniors struggle with. Certain medications also play a role by altering the body's internal chemistry, sometimes manifesting as unusual odors or exacerbating dry mouth, underscoring why geriatric experts advocate for regular medication reviews and open dialogues about potential side effects. These multiple factors converge to create an environment where small lapses in hygiene, mobility challenges, or a simple lack of energy can drastically magnify unpleasant odors, leaving seniors trapped in a shadowy zone where they rarely realize the full extent of the problem until it has already escalated. Experts note that stress and anxiety associated with odor worries can undermine immune function, appetite, and cardiovascular health, so tackling the issue is about more than just aesthetics. It is a step toward holistic wellness. Seniors who remain active benefit from improved circulation and sweat regulation, meaning exercise fosters both mental and physical health while reducing the stagnation that can exacerbate odor concerns, a notion supported by various medical studies on geriatric wellness. Cultivating a balanced diet rich in fiber, antioxidants, and lean protein supports overall health and reduces the accumulation of toxins expelled through sweat or breath, forming an added layer of defense against chronic odor. Eliminating or moderating alcohol, caffeine, and sugar, as well as pungent or spicy foods, helps rein in strong or musty body smells, offering a tangible step for seniors who previously felt they had no control over the changes in their body. A thorough assessment of pharmaceuticals is also key, for classes of drugs like certain diuretics or hormonal therapies can alter scent in surprising ways, further complicating a senior's attempt at odor management. Isolation poses a grave risk for older adults, and concerns about odor, whether real or perceived, can lead them to withdraw from gatherings or public events, spurring a downward spiral of loneliness, mental health decline, and deteriorating physical fitness. Professionals emphasize that early intervention and compassionate dialogue remain central to preserving dignity and ensuring that seniors receive the help they need, whether it involves in-home assistance for bathing and laundry or comprehensive medical evaluations to uncover potential metabolic or hormonal imbalances. Untreated odor issues can also mask deeper health concerns, like diabetes or kidney problems, which often manifest subtle changes in bodily scent, making routine checkups invaluable. Crucial to any odor management plan is an acknowledgement that shame and secrecy feed the problem, while empathy, education, and consistent care offer a path toward positive change, particularly when family members lend support without judgment. Adopting gentle exfoliation practices, trimming excessive body hair, and focusing on areas prone to sweating reduces bacterial growth, simplifying daily routines and helping seniors regain confidence in social settings. This renewed confidence often leads older adults to participate more in community activities, maintain friendships, and find motivation in the knowledge that they can stay fresh and active at any age, reinforcing the idea that odor is neither an unavoidable curse nor a symbol of personal failure. Caregivers and loved ones can aid this process by incorporating odor checks into routine tasks in a respectful, unobtrusive manner, offering gentle feedback that breaks the cycle of unawareness caused by a diminished sense of smell. Breaking the taboo opens the door for comprehensive solutions that incorporate everything from diet and hydration to mental health support and practical daily habits, ensuring that seniors remain empowered to enjoy their golden years with confidence rather than shame. Rather than a burden or an afterthought, odor management becomes a crucial piece of holistic senior care, reminding everyone that aging with grace requires ongoing commitment, empathy, and a willingness to adapt. As seniors learn more about the biological roots of odor, they gain the motivation to refine their grooming habits, consider nutritional adjustments, and discuss possible medication changes with their doctors. Tapping into community workshops and local support groups helps seniors realize they are not alone in navigating the complexities of odor management, allowing them to share tips, successes, and encouragement with one another. By weaving these insights into everyday living, older adults gradually reclaim not just control over their bodies, but also the pride of feeling presentable in social circles. While some might question the importance of prioritizing what appears to be a minor concern, the ripple effect of heightened self-esteem, improved social engagement, and boosted health awareness reveals why ignoring the odor issue should no longer be an option. Overcoming this challenge reminds us that aging well involves seeking information, making purposeful choices, and embracing the body's signals, pleasant or not, as a guide to more responsive self-care. With thoughtful planning and willing collaboration among caregivers, families, and the seniors themselves, we can dispel the myth that unpleasant smells are an unavoidable byproduct of aging, replacing it with a narrative in which older adults flourish in security, confidence, and well-earned pride. Recognizing how common this issue is provides a powerful catalyst for destigmatization and assistance, championing a reality where the golden years are celebrated without the shadow of an unspoken problem that, if neglected, threatens both social harmony and personal well-being. Finding the right balance of hygiene, nutrition, medical support, and honest conversations allows seniors worldwide to maintain dignity and independence, relishing the peace of mind that arises from a body in harmony and a life unburdened by silent insecurities. Above all, shining a light on the widespread yet overlooked odor issue reaffirms our collective responsibility to honor the complexity of aging and uphold the respect that every older adult deserves, ensuring they remain fully integrated into the social fabric, free from the constraints of a problem that too often stays hidden in the dark. Awareness also fosters open-minded exploration of innovative solutions, such as odor-detecting devices or specialized clothing technologies, which can further empower seniors to monitor and manage scents more effectively. By normalizing conversations about senior odor, families and caregivers pave the way for broader acceptance of other sensitive topics, from incontinence to mobility limitations, transforming uncomfortable silence into opportunities for meaningful assistance. Emphasizing early education on the biology of aging and the importance of proactive daily habits lays a foundation for reduced odor problems as individuals move toward their golden years, reinforcing that prevention is far simpler than crisis intervention. As more people become educated about this widespread issue, a collective shift emerges in how society addresses the interplay between aging bodies and changing scents, promoting a culture of respect, guidance, and empathy. Even technological advancements in personal hygiene products, like pH-balanced soaps, specialized sprays, or natural antibacterial ingredients, continue to improve, offering seniors a variety of choices to suit personal preferences while effectively combating stubborn smells. Looking ahead, the conversation surrounding senior odor will likely expand into broader discussions of environmental design, community planning, and emerging healthcare policies that take into account the nuanced needs of an older population. Rather than focusing on superficial quick fixes, addressing the root causes of odor ensures that seniors are not merely masking a symptom but are actively nurturing vibrant, fulfilling lives supported by thorough care and education. This holistic attitude affirms that aging with dignity and minimal discomfort is both a personal journey and a shared societal priority, reflecting our collective capacity to adapt knowledgeably and compassionately. Ultimately, the more openly and thoroughly we address the widespread yet overlooked odor issue among seniors, the more we pave the way for a future in which older adults can flourish, unfettered by the burdens of preventable shame, misunderstanding, or neglect, and bolstered instead by an unwavering commitment to their well-being and happiness. Key biological factors and underlying health conditions often converge to create the perfect environment for persistent odors in seniors, illuminating just how closely body chemistry, organ function, and various medical conditions are intertwined, and hormonal changes, particularly those involving estrogen, testosterone, and thyroid hormone levels, can profoundly affect the body's natural secretions, gradually shifting the scent profile that was once easy to manage during youth. Additionally, slower cell turnover in the skin can cause more dead skin cells to accumulate, giving odor-causing bacteria extra fuel and creating stubborn odors that linger on clothing and furniture, and poor blood circulation, a common issue among seniors, can sometimes result in decreased skin temperature and sweating in certain regions, thus concentrating sweat in other areas where bacterial growth is more pronounced. Over time, these shifts often go unnoticed by older adults, especially if diminishing senses make it harder for them to detect new or intensified smells, delaying crucial intervention, and chronic conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, and liver dysfunction each carry potential metabolic imbalances, some of which manifest as unique or intensified body odors that can be challenging to address without first identifying the underlying issue. In the case of diabetes, for example, poorly regulated blood sugar levels can lead to ketosis, wherein the body produces ketones with a distinctive, often sweet or pungent aroma emanating from the breath or sweat, and kidney and liver issues can likewise change the composition of the body's waste products, making sweat, urine, and breath noticeably different in scent, sometimes accompanied by symptoms like fatigue, dry skin, or fluid retention. Medications that address these health conditions, including diuretics, certain blood pressure drugs, and antibiotics, can further complicate matters by altering gut flora, impacting hydration levels, or creating other biochemical shifts that distort bodily smells. And one must not overlook the respiratory system either, as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or infections in the lungs may contribute to unusual breath odors, underscoring that senior odor is not confined to sweat alone but can arise from multiple bodily systems. When oral health declines, a scenario made more likely by challenges related to dexterity, cognitive function, or the natural weakening of teeth and gums, bacteria in the mouth can proliferate, generating volatile sulfur compounds that taint the breath and spread into the surrounding environment, and gum disease. Dentures that are improperly cleaned, and dry mouth caused by certain prescriptions create the ideal conditions for foul-smelling bacterial overgrowth to thrive unchecked. Yet many older adults live with this problem quietly, unaware of the full social and health implications. Just as subtle changes in the skin microbiome can shift the balance of bacteria on the surface, imbalances in the gut microbiome can also play a part, especially if nutrient absorption is compromised or if certain bacteria become dominant due to long-term medication use, and hidden infections, even those as mild as untreated toenail fungus or unnoticed skin lesions, can slowly give rise to persistent odors, further illustrating the wide range of biological factors that converge in the body's scent profile. In this complex tapestry, stress and hormonal dysregulation only serve to intensify the situation, sometimes prompting excessive sweating in specific areas or changing the body's ability to handle toxins. And as seniors grapple with natural muscle loss, the body's capacity to remain active may dwindle, inadvertently reducing opportunities to sweat off toxins through exercise and leading to stagnation of waste products in the skin's pores. Furthermore, a weakening immune system in older adults can allow opportunistic bacteria and fungi to flourish, making it even harder to keep odors at bay. And although minor in appearance, these shifts in bodily processes can accumulate, producing noticeable scents that are resistant to ordinary hygiene habits alone. On top of that, seniors often experience decreased kidney efficiency, meaning the filtration of waste products can become compromised, allowing more toxins to circulate and be excreted through sweat or breath, and the thyroid gland, when underactive or overactive, can swing the metabolism too far in one direction, changing everything from body temperature to the rate at which sweat is produced, thereby shaping a distinct odor fingerprint. Diets rich in processed foods or lacking essential nutrients may further exacerbate these imbalances, creating a domino effect that influences gut flora, hormonal harmony, and overall metabolic health, and sometimes, the underlying triggers for these biological and medical complications are not evident until they progress, leaving odor as one of the earliest signs that something within the body's intricate system has gone awry. Mobility issues, which are often downplayed, can impede seniors' ability to bathe thoroughly or regularly, thus amplifying odors that result from these metabolic disruptions, and reduced dexterity might make it difficult to clean harder to reach areas of the body, creating pockets where bacteria thrive, accumulating sweat, oils, and dead skin cells. Cognitive decline, whether mild or more advanced, also factors in, since forgetfulness or confusion can cause seniors to skip basic hygiene rituals, misunderstand dosage instructions for medications that influence odor, or neglect symptoms indicative of infection, and likewise, depression and mental health challenges are interlaced with physiological responses, and chronic sadness or anxiety can cause biochemical alterations that shift sweat composition and immune response. These overlapping layers of biological vulnerability, medication side effects, and diminished self-care can transform what might start as a minor odor issue into something that severely impacts a senior's quality of life. And skin issues like eczema or psoriasis, which often worsen or become more persistent with age, can lead to broken or inflamed skin that harbors bacteria, increasing the chance of foul smells while complicating grooming routines. Malabsorption syndromes, such as those associated with celiac disease or pancreatic insufficiency, might go undiagnosed in older adults. Yet the resulting digestive irregularities and nutritional deficiencies frequently show up as abnormal body or breath odors. And even conditions like anemia can play a subtle role, as low iron or vitamin deficiencies influence the body's red blood cell production and energy levels, possibly intensifying existing odor problems if the individual becomes too fatigued for regular hygiene maintenance. As the body's collagen production decreases with age, the skin's elasticity changes and pores can become more prominent, allowing sweat and bacteria to linger in these enlarged areas, contributing to stubborn, hard-to-treat smells and beyond physical health factors, emotional and psychological states directly linked to hormonal balance. So if a senior is grieving or experiencing chronic stress, the subsequent surge of cortisol and other stress hormones can inadvertently shift the way the body produces and eliminates odor-causing compounds. This entire web of interconnected variables underscores why pinpointing a singular cause for persistent odor in seniors can be so challenging, often requiring a holistic assessment that encompasses everything from dietary habits to a complete medical history. And in many cases, a senior might simply lack the energy or support system needed to address each contributing factor, especially if they are managing multiple chronic conditions, juggling doctor's appointments, and facing mobility hurdles. Distinguishing between normal, age-related changes and pathological causes of odor can be difficult without professional input, yet a proactive approach, one that emphasizes routine checkups and open discussions, can unearth hidden medical issues early, preventing them from spiraling into major health crises. And sometimes, the interplay between various health conditions is less direct, such as when a senior takes medications that cause drowsiness, leading to reduced movement, which then promotes sweat pooling and bacterial overgrowth in confined areas of the body. Other times, it can be more abrupt, like infections that cause fever-induced sweating, which intensifies quickly and can linger even after a senior resumes a normal temperature. And ultimately, these interlocking biological factors highlight the importance of vigilance, especially when it comes to potential odor symptoms that may appear benign but could signal a pressing need for medical intervention. Cardiovascular disease and high cholesterol, too, have been linked with heightened inflammation in the body, thereby raising the possibility that specific bacterial strains thrive in senior skin or gut, and meanwhile, reduced lung capacity, whether from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or simple age-related decline, can alter the rate at which waste gases are expelled, influencing breath odor in a surprisingly direct way. Such nuances of physiology illustrate just how many layers contribute to what someone might dismiss as mere body odor, showing that it might be more than a cosmetic or superficial problem, instead signaling deeper concerns that deserve thorough investigation. And even dehydration, although easily correctable, remains pervasive among older populations, intensifying body odor as the concentration of waste products excreted through sweat and breath grows. For seniors battling nerve damage or neuropathy, reduced sensation can mean they sweat irregularly, complicating attempts at basic odor management and making it easier for bacteria to thrive unnoticed. And everything from the level of sex hormones to the functionality of the digestive tract can play a role here, painting a vast, intricate picture of what drives these stubborn odors and why each senior's case demands individual consideration. If left unchecked, the cumulative effects of all these biological elements can foster a cycle in which odor and self-consciousness feed off each other, fostering isolation, depression, and more neglected health concerns that only exacerbate the problem. And dental problems like periodontal disease can merge with gastrointestinal imbalances to create multiple odor sources, requiring both dental treatment and nutritional modifications to fully resolve. Chronic fatigue, anemia, and autoimmune disorders can further impede consistent self-care routines, making seniors more reliant on external support at a time when they might feel uncomfortable bringing up private or embarrassing topics. And these realities reinforce that truly tackling body odor in seniors hinges on comprehending the broad tapestry of health factors at play, each of which has the power to either ameliorate or aggravate the issue. In some instances, a formal medical evaluation can reveal surprising connections, such as thyroid medication dosage being slightly off, or a hidden vitamin deficiency fueling a host of odor-related complications. And when seniors and their caregivers understand that body odor may be a red flag hinting at deeper imbalances, they become more motivated to pursue thorough checkups, monitor prescription interactions, and openly discuss any changes with healthcare professionals. Specialists who regularly work with aging populations can help craft individualized strategies that consider medication timings, dietary preferences, and any physical or cognitive limitations impacting hygiene. And ultimately, the biological underpinnings of senior odor are neither simple nor uniform, but rather a blend of shifting hormones, compromised organ systems, medication influences, and possible underlying illnesses that each alter a person's fundamental scent profile. Recognizing the possibility of medical involvement is paramount to ensuring that seniors do not struggle with odor in silence, wrongly attributing it to mere lack of hygiene when, in fact, a correctable or treatable condition might be lurking beneath the surface. And by highlighting the significance of these key biological factors and underlying health conditions, families and caregivers are better equipped to adopt a broader, more empathetic lens, one that promotes curiosity and constructive dialogue in place of embarrassment. In the end, staying attuned to these signals can prevent minor odor issues from escalating and can guide seniors toward improved quality of life, demonstrating that a proactive, well-informed approach to whole-person wellness often reduces chronic smells far more effectively than simply masking them with deodorants or perfumes. And in the same vein, acknowledging the complexity of senior odor fosters a mutual sense of respect, wherein seniors feel validated that their bodies are undergoing tangible changes, rather than being carelessly labeled as neglectful or unhygienic. This level of understanding can motivate older adults to pursue timely medical advice, comply more willingly with treatment regimens, and keep the lines of communication open with caregivers, strengthening the overall support system. And rather than allowing frustration or shame to grow, individuals who grasp how hormones, organ function, and microbial balance intertwine will be poised to pursue real solutions that address the root causes, ensuring that seniors remain comfortable, confident, and engaged in the wider world. While the interactions between multiple health conditions can seem overwhelming, each discovery of an underlying factor brings clarity and direction, empowering seniors to take meaningful steps, like seeking better medication alternatives, practicing targeted hygiene strategies, or modifying their diets that generate lasting improvements, and most importantly, confronting these biological realities head-on underscores that senior odor is not merely an inevitable quirk of aging, but a multifaceted phenomenon that often signifies legitimate concerns about a person's internal state, thus calling for genuine attention, understanding, and care. By shining a light on these intricate connections between body function and scent, we not only pave the way for effective solutions, but also cultivate a more compassionate and scientifically grounded perspective on what aging bodies truly need to stay healthy, balanced, and free from distracting or distressing odors. The social and emotional implications of chronic odors among seniors can be profound, often causing a level of self-consciousness that pushes individuals into isolation, even though they may deeply crave connection and community. Persistent smells that linger despite regular hygiene efforts may prompt older adults to avoid family gatherings, fearful that their loved ones will silently judge or be repelled by the scent, creating a rift that fractures important bonds over time. Rather than seeking help, many seniors choose to suffer in silence, gradually withdrawing from social circles and recreational activities as their confidence erodes, which can severely diminish their quality of life. This reluctance to engage can lead to a vicious cycle, where emotional distress elevates stress levels and possibly exacerbates odor issues by altering the body's hormonal balance or discouraging thorough self-care. Shame and embarrassment become constant companions, coloring interactions with strangers and friends alike, and fueling anxious thoughts about whether the odor has become too pronounced to go unnoticed. Consequently, older individuals might feel trapped by a stigma they struggle to articulate, limiting their willingness to speak openly with doctors or caregivers, who might otherwise provide effective solutions. Instead, they may rely on quick fixes, like excessive use of perfumes and air fresheners, to mask the underlying smell, often unaware that these tactics can clash with personal scent, creating even stronger or more noticeable aromas. When others do comment on a senior's odor, the remarks can be unintentionally hurtful, reinforcing a narrative that they have fallen short in personal cleanliness or are simply beyond help, eventually culminating in a loss of self-esteem. Caregivers, too, may find themselves grappling with how to broach the subject delicately, fearing that direct honesty might be perceived as an affront to the senior's dignity, while indirect hints often go unnoticed or ignored. Such tension fosters resentment on both sides, as the senior feels either pitted or ostracized, and the caregiver struggles to fulfill their role without eroding mutual trust and respect. Over time, a formerly vibrant individual who once thrived in group settings can slip into a pattern of decline, no longer attending social clubs, church events, or even routine activities like shopping for groceries. These subtle but impactful changes lead to fewer opportunities for physical movement, mental stimulation, and emotional closeness, potentially worsening depression or anxiety that already plague many older adults. Friends may also refrain from extending invitations, unsure of how to navigate the situation compassionately and reluctant to risk uncomfortable experiences, compounding a sense of loneliness that can become increasingly difficult to overcome. The result is a closed loop, wherein seniors experience humiliation, others feel awkward, and everyone becomes more detached, weakening community bonds that are critical for healthy aging. This issue does not merely affect personal relationships but may also undermine professional interactions for older adults who continue working or volunteering, leading them to forego fulfilling roles for fear of unspoken judgments. As social contact shrinks, emotional wounds can deepen, magnifying existing mental health struggles and paving the way for sleep disturbances, poor appetite, or chronic stress. Feelings of hopelessness may arise when repeated attempts to address the odor, through extra showers or topical treatments, yield minimal improvement, possibly dissuading seniors from pursuing further medical advice. In more extreme cases, the perceived stigma attached to chronic odor can lead to outright social phobia, where even routine tasks like visiting the doctor or standing in line at a pharmacy become daunting ordeals, hampering a senior's ability to manage other aspects of their health. Research on geriatric mental health consistently shows that isolation and loneliness correlate strongly with higher mortality rates, suggesting that unaddressed odor issues can exert an influence on overall longevity by restricting social ties that buffer against psychological decline. Family members who do remain involved might express concern about the senior's reluctance to participate in once favored pastimes, yet they may stop short of linking it directly to odor-related embarrassment if the subject has never been openly discussed. The senior, in turn, may become defensive or distraught if asked to explain their avoidance, worried that speaking frankly about the odor will result in judgment, leading to strained conversations that are often left unresolved. Over time, unresolved tension and embarrassment manifest in subtle ways, such as fewer phone calls, briefer visits, and an emotional distance that undermines the support network on which older adults often depend. Emotional ties wear thin under the constant weight of uncertainty, suspicion, and discomfort, leaving the senior in a precarious position where they feel unmoored from their own community. This alienation can prompt or intensify mental health conditions, including depression and anxiety, which can in turn worsen odor issues by affecting appetite, sleep quality, and the desire to maintain basic self-care routines. Care facilities and senior living communities must also grapple with the impact of odor, as unchecked scents can disrupt communal harmony and prompt staff or fellow residents to treat the individual as a problem rather than a valued member of the group. At times, well-meaning attempts at secrecy can breed resentment from neighbors who notice the smell but feel they have no polite recourse to address it, leading to whisper campaigns and stigmatizing chatter that leave the senior feeling even more isolated. If the environment lacks trained staff who understand how to delicately offer assistance, residents may hide in their rooms, skipping communal meals and events that contribute to a sense of belonging and day-to-day enjoyment. This cycle of withdrawal only deepens the loneliness and fear that the senior experiences, fueling a belief that their presence is unwanted and their social world is steadily shrinking. Moreover, many older adults internalize societal messages that link body odor to poor hygiene or laziness, missing the critical nuance that factors like hormonal changes, organ function, and medication side effects are frequently to blame. A single insensitive remark can linger for years, corroding self-worth and turning even the simplest errands into humiliating chores to be avoided whenever possible. Gradually, a once healthy network of friends and acquaintances might dissipate, replaced by an echo chamber of self-criticism and latent shame that intensifies with every perceived or actual negative reaction. In circumstances where adult children visit less frequently due to lingering unpleasant smells, the emotional toll compounds further, leaving the senior feeling abandoned or judged by those from whom they most crave acceptance. Stress from this emotional burden may elevate cortisol levels, inadvertently changing sweat composition and increasing the potency of odors, thus creating a feedback loop that perpetuates the very problem they are trying to hide. As if this were not enough, older adults with mobility or cognitive impairments find it especially difficult to break out of this spiral, since they rely heavily on external support for grooming and hygiene, placing them in an especially vulnerable position if their caregivers are uncomfortable discussing or managing odor-related concerns. Research also points out that the stigma of chronic odor can strain marriages or long-term partnerships, as spouses might grapple with conflicting emotions. A desire to help, a sense of embarrassment, and frustration if the issue appears to go unaddressed. Intimate moments can become fraught with tension or avoidance, further damaging the emotional bonds that keep couples resilient through the natural challenges of aging. In group settings such as senior centers or recreation clubs, a single comment about odor, whether maliciously intended or merely offhand, can stick with the older adult for days, weeks, or longer, overshadowing enjoyable interactions and reinforcing a sense of social peril. The emotional weight of the stigma often parallels the feelings experienced by those who suffer from conditions like incontinence or chronic pain, highlighting how seemingly small issues can cast a long shadow over everyday life. Eventually, in some cases, this leads to a form of learned helplessness, where the senior believes nothing can be done to improve the situation and resigns themselves to a diminished social existence. Paradoxically, the more seniors withdraw, the less likely they are to receive accurate feedback or timely interventions that could mitigate or eliminate the odor, thus solidifying the notion that their isolation is both necessary and permanent. Mental health professionals caution that unresolved shame can worsen insomnia, appetite changes, and cognitive decline, compounding physical health issues that become progressively harder to manage without supportive, interactive relationships. The resulting decline in social contact also robs seniors of valuable emotional resources that could otherwise buffer stress, reduce anxiety, and promote a sense of purpose, all of which are critical to healthy aging. Ultimately, persistent, unaddressed odor can become a powerful catalyst for emotional suffering, reshaping how older adults see themselves and interpret their role in the broader social fabric. Rather than cherishing familial bonds or community ties, they may begin to perceive themselves as a burden or source of discomfort, sometimes fueling thoughts of worthlessness that warrant professional intervention. This emotional toll does not exist in a vacuum, because friends, relatives, and care providers may also experience guilt or helplessness, unsure how to restore a sense of normalcy without overstepping boundaries or amplifying embarrassment. Social and emotional isolation intensifies as time passes, making it ever more difficult for older adults to step forward and seek help, since each missed gathering or event cements the perception that they are no longer wanted. When left unchecked, the consequences can escalate into severe depression or anxiety disorders that undermine the senior's motivation to manage even basic daily tasks, perpetuating a deteriorating cycle. In the worst instances, Individuals may feel driven to relocate or stop contact with loved ones to avoid the perceived shame of exposing their odor in close quarters, leading to broken families and fractured communities. The tragedy lies in the preventable nature of the spiral, since open communication, timely medical advice, and gentle but constructive feedback from caregivers can often steer older adults toward effective remedies before the emotional fallout becomes irreversible. By normalizing discussions about odor and promoting a supportive environment, families and organizations can help mitigate these social and emotional harms, reminding seniors that they are valued for far more than their physical attributes or bodily scent. Over time, such understanding and empathic dialogue can encourage reintegration into social activities, reduce feelings of alienation, and restore a sense of confidence that had been buried under layers of shame. Restoring social bonds and emotional well-being also has tangible health benefits, as it encourages seniors to stay active, eat well, and maintain critical routines that keep them engaged with their physical and mental wellness. Ultimately, the social and emotional implications of chronic odors underscore that aging is not just a physical journey, but also a deeply relational and psychological one, requiring cooperation and empathy from everyone involved. Without acknowledgement of these invisible burdens, seniors risk disappearing behind a wall of silence and embarrassment, further weakening the very support networks they need to flourish in later life. But by identifying and openly addressing these issues, society takes an essential step toward ensuring that older adults remain active, connected, and genuinely respected members of their families and communities. Dietary adjustments and essential nutrient strategies stand at the forefront of a proactive approach to managing senior odor, given how intimately food choices shape metabolic processes and influence the skin's microbiome, particularly as the body's ability to break down and eliminate toxins gradually shifts with age. Although older adults often prioritize taste and ease of preparation, incorporating balanced meals that revolve around whole grains, lean proteins, and vibrant produce can substantially reduce the buildup of odor-causing compounds in sweat, breath, and other bodily secretions. Hydration plays a pivotal role as well, for seniors who consistently meet fluid requirements generally experience fewer issues with concentrated sweat or sluggish digestion, thereby undercutting common odor triggers. Ensuring an adequate intake of vitamins and minerals, such as vitamins C, D, and E, along with zinc, magnesium, and calcium, can bolster the immune system, regulate hormone production, and safeguard organ function, preventing many of the metabolic imbalances that lead to strong or persistent odors. Balancing macronutrients becomes crucial too, since diets excessively laden with simple carbohydrates or saturated fats can feed odor-causing bacteria in the gut and disrupt the body's internal chemistry, sometimes amplifying unpleasant scents that escape through breath or skin. Over time, the toxic load from poor eating habits may strain the liver and kidneys, requiring these organs to work harder in filtering out harmful byproducts that might otherwise be excreted through sweat, a process that can drastically intensify body odor. If daily meals lean heavily on processed foods high in sodium and artificial additives, water retention and hormonal disturbances may arise, further complicating odor control efforts by altering how toxins exit the body. Experts suggest adopting meals that combine fiber-rich vegetables, such as leafy greens and cruciferous options like broccoli or cauliflower, with nutrient-dense proteins, like chicken, turkey, fish, or legumes, since these ingredients support healthier gut flora and reduce the risk of foul-smelling bacterial overgrowth. By integrating fermented foods, such as yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut, seniors can also introduce beneficial probiotics that promote a more balanced digestive environment, thus reducing the fermentative processes that contribute to bad breath and strong body odors. Yet, many older adults struggle with changes in appetite or dental issues that make certain healthy foods more difficult to consume, underscoring the value of blended soups, protein shakes, and other easily digestible options that offer robust nutrition without undue chewing. A mindful approach to sugar intake remains essential, because excessive consumption of sweets can disrupt insulin levels, spark yeast overgrowth, and upset the overall microbiome, each of which has been linked to heightened odors. Limiting or carefully moderating items like red meat and heavily spiced dishes can also help, as these foods tend to linger in the digestive tract and sometimes produce more pungent byproducts during breakdown. Although coffee and alcohol are popular among all age groups, Seniors grappling with odor issues might find it beneficial to reduce these beverages, given their diuretic effects can encourage dehydration and concentrate waste products, making bodily scents more potent. Embracing herbs like parsley, mint, and basil, which boast natural deodorizing properties, can be a subtle yet meaningful addition to meals, refreshing breath and countering sulfurous compounds that otherwise contribute to unpleasant smells. For those with dietary restrictions due to chronic illnesses such as diabetes or hypertension, it becomes even more crucial to seek medical guidance in crafting meal plans that balance nutrient requirements with odor control considerations. Proper protein intake, tailored to an individual's weight and health status, helps maintain muscle mass and bodily function, yet it must be sourced and portioned wisely, given the protein breakdown process can sometimes yield ammonia-based byproducts that can exacerbate unpleasant aromas if consumed in excess. Likewise, healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and olive oil can aid in nutrient absorption and hormone regulation, but seniors must avoid going overboard in ways that might overload the digestive system. In addition to macro and micronutrients, certain phytonutrients found in colorful fruits and vegetables actively combat inflammation and oxidative stress, reducing the internal environment where odor-causing bacteria flourish and toxins linger. Drinking herbal teas, particularly those with antibacterial or calming properties, such as green tea, chamomile, or peppermint, can also assist in flushing out toxins, improving breath, and contributing to a sense of wellness. When seniors struggle with constipation, odors often become more pronounced, as waste lingers in the intestines, producing gases and compounds that seep into the bloodstream or eventually emerge as foul-smelling flatulence. Thus, a fiber-rich diet combined with sufficient fluid intake remains paramount for regular bowel movements. Beyond individual food choices, however, the rhythm and timing of meals can also make a difference, since grazing throughout the day on smaller, balanced portions avoids overwhelming the digestive system and keeps energy levels more stable. By preventing extreme spikes and drops in blood sugar, seniors reduce the likelihood of metabolic byproducts that encourage yeast or bacterial overgrowth in the gut. Supplements can fill nutritional gaps when diet alone is insufficient, particularly for seniors who face challenges absorbing certain vitamins and minerals due to age-related changes in the gastrointestinal tract. But professionals advise caution to avoid imbalances or interactions with medications. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish oil or flaxseed, may also help regulate inflammation, boost cardiovascular health, and support hormonal balance, indirectly mitigating the risk of persistent odor. For those with known food intolerances or allergies, identifying and eliminating trigger ingredients can significantly minimize gut inflammation, gas production, and the resulting odors that might escape through breath or skin. Working alongside a nutritionist or dietitian who specializes in geriatric care offers a targeted approach, ensuring a plan customized not just for odor management but also for broader health considerations, like bone density or heart disease risk. Such guidance is invaluable for seniors who require consistent monitoring of their calorie or nutrient intake to maintain a healthy weight, considering that both obesity and malnutrition can intensify odor issues by altering metabolic processes. Caregivers can assist by preparing weekly meal preps, organizing grocery lists around fresh, unprocessed items, and using gentle seasonings that enhance flavor without relying on excessive salt or sugar. Well-planned meal routines also promote hydration by pairing water, infused water, or herbal teas with each serving, helping seniors stay mindful of fluid intake throughout the day. In environments where fresh produce is difficult to access, frozen or low-sodium canned options can still serve as valuable substitutes, ensuring that an ample supply of vitamins and minerals is always within reach. As seniors become more conscious of the powerful link between diet and odor, they often feel empowered to experiment with new recipes that incorporate nutrient-dense ingredients, like quinoa, lentils, or a diverse array of colorful fruits, granting them a sense of agency in combating odor from the inside out. The psychological boost that comes from taking charge of one's nutritional choices can cascade into other healthy habits, such as better sleep hygiene, more regular exercise, or proactive medical checkups, each of which further supports odor management in its own way. Learning how to read nutrition labels carefully becomes an essential skill, given the proliferation of hidden sugars, chemical additives, and artificial flavors that can undermine even the most earnest efforts to improve the body's natural scent. Periodic detox phases, guided by professionals, rather than extreme fad diets, might also help reset the digestive system, ease inflammation, and optimize organ function to flush out odor-inducing compounds more efficiently. For seniors who dislike cooking or find it physically demanding, meal delivery services tailored to specific health needs can be a game-changer, allowing them to enjoy balanced, flavorful dishes without the burden of extensive preparation. Overcoming common misconceptions about diet, like assuming that odor is solely tied to cleanliness or that spiciness alone is the culprit, encourages a more holistic perspective, recognizing that everything from portion sizes to specific nutrient deficiencies can play a role. Certain vegetables containing sulfur, such as onions and garlic, might initially seem like obvious suspects, yet paradoxically, moderate amounts of these foods can offer antimicrobial benefits and boost liver function if balanced with other nutrients. Elderly individuals who stick to predominantly bland diets might be missing out on the beneficial antioxidants found in a broader spectrum of herbs and spices, reinforcing the idea that variety, moderation, and nutritional density are key. Evidence-based resources, including reputable websites and local health workshops, can demystify the science behind nutrition, illustrating how each macronutrient and micronutrient piece fits into the puzzle of odor control. Some seniors may also discover that consistent meal timing aids in regulating bowel habits and preventing episodes of indigestion that could otherwise intensify body smells. By spacing out protein intake across multiple meals, for instance, the body can metabolize it more thoroughly, reducing the likelihood of high ammonia levels that can cause pungent odors. Maintaining healthy gut flora stands out as a critical factor, and the best way to do so is by favoring whole foods over refined grains, sugary treats, and processed snacks that feed harmful microbes and spike insulin levels. Adding prebiotic fibers, found in foods like garlic, onions, bananas, and asparagus, also nurtures the beneficial bacteria in the colon, helping the digestive system work more efficiently and reducing the production of unwanted byproducts. Proper portion control cannot be overlooked, either, since overeating burdens the digestive organs, slowing metabolism and fostering an environment in which odor-causing bacteria flourish. By adopting a mindful eating approach, seniors are more likely to notice which foods aggravate odor issues and which ones mitigate them, allowing for incremental refinements that accumulate into substantial improvements over time. In tandem with balanced diets, nutritional strategies like intermittent fasting or low-glycemic meal plans may further stabilize hormones and blood sugar, minimizing fluctuations that feed into the cycle of strong body and breath odors. Even a simple daily multivitamin might offer older adults the nutritional insurance they need when dietary variety is limited, although personalized testing for deficiencies is always recommended to avoid guesswork and oversupplementation. As seniors pursue these dietary improvements, a remarkable synergy often develops between their physical well-being and emotional health, countering feelings of powerlessness tied to age-related changes and equipping them with tangible strategies for self-care. Indeed, small victories, such as noticing a fresher morning breath or reduced underarm odor, can spark the enthusiasm needed to maintain positive dietary shifts for the long haul. Encouragement from caregivers, healthcare professionals, and supportive friends further cements the value of these nutritional modifications, reinforcing the understanding that aging bodies still hold the capacity for resilience and regeneration. While challenges remain, such as budget constraints, medication interactions, and the occasional craving for comfort foods, deliberate, well-informed dietary planning can form the bedrock for a life that's not just odor-free but also marked by enhanced energy, mental clarity, and improved immunity. In this sense, dietary adjustments and essential nutrient strategies serve as a comprehensive intervention, addressing the root causes of lingering senior odors while simultaneously nurturing overall vitality, autonomy, and contentment. Once fully integrated, these practices can reshape how older adults view mealtime, transforming it from a mere routine into a proactive solution that keeps the body functioning optimally, day after day. Ultimately, approaching food as medicine expands possibilities for longevity and physical comfort, ensuring that seniors remain active participants in their communities, unburdened by the fear or shame that chronic odors can impose. By aligning their plates with healthy, whole foods and targeted nutrients, older adults strengthen every aspect of themselves, from gut flora to immune defenses, setting the stage for a future characterized by dignity, confidence, and genuine health. This intentional shift in perspective underscores the critical role nutrition plays in odor management, illustrating how each bite becomes part of a larger tapestry of self-care that shields seniors from the complications and stigma of preventable, diet-related scents. Empowered by scientific knowledge and practical guidance, seniors can reclaim the narrative around odor, swapping reactive measures for proactive habits that harness the transformative power of nutrition to preserve comfort, connection, and well-being throughout the aging process. Practical home remedies and lifestyle modifications can effectively complement medical interventions for seniors dealing with stubborn body odors, bridging the gap between everyday routines and more specialized care in a manner that is both empowering and cost-effective. Simple acts like increasing ventilation within living spaces by opening windows, running fans, or using air purifiers can help disperse odor-causing particles before they settle, removing a significant portion of lingering smells. Bedding and clothes washed in hot water with a dash of baking soda or white vinegar can neutralize bacteria and reduce trapped scents, which otherwise accumulate and become harder to eliminate over time. Many seniors also benefit from switching to fragrance-free or hypoallergenic soaps and laundry detergents, as strong perfumes sometimes exacerbate skin irritation or clash with existing smells, producing unexpectedly pungent aromas. Washing bed linens frequently, at least once a week or more if night sweats are an issue, can mitigate odor buildup, while pillowcases should be changed just as often to remove skin oils and perspiration. Cooling mattresses or mattress toppers can reduce sweating during sleep, and breathable fabrics, like cotton or bamboo, let air circulate more freely around the body, diminishing the environment in which odor-causing microbes thrive. Showering or bathing every day or two, depending on personal comfort and mobility constraints, remains a critical practice, but seniors should focus on thorough cleansing of commonly overlooked areas, including skin folds, feet, underarms, and the groin. Gentle exfoliation, accomplished with a soft brush or mild scrub once or twice a week, sloughs off dead skin cells that would otherwise serve as a breeding ground for bacteria, while being cautious not to irritate delicate, aging skin. Applying talcum-free body powders can help absorb excess moisture without clogging pores, and specialized moisture-wicking undergarments or socks keep sweat away from the surface of the skin, further discouraging bacterial growth. Some seniors find relief by alternating between hot and cold showers, a method thought to stimulate circulation, help flush toxins, and minimize sweat pooling, although caution is advised for those with blood pressure concerns. Natural deodorants made from mineral salts or baking soda might suit seniors with sensitive skin, though testing a small patch beforehand is vital to ensure no irritation occurs. Foot odor remedies often involve a two-pronged approach. Soaking feet in warm water mixed with Epsom salts or diluted vinegar to fight fungal growth and following up with thorough drying, particularly between toes. By paying special attention to footwear, rotating shoes daily, leaving them to air out, or using antibacterial shoe sprays, seniors can curb odors that travel beyond the feet to permeate living areas. Maintaining short and clean nails on both hands and feet helps reduce hidden pockets where bacteria flourish, while a weekly foot inspection can catch infections or minor injuries early, preventing them from becoming chronic odor sources. Hair care also plays a part. Rinsing hair regularly and cleansing the scalp with mild shampoos ensures natural oils do not accumulate and produce musty smells, particularly for seniors who sweat more around the head or wear hats frequently. Beyond washing, seniors can incorporate essential oils like lavender, tea tree, or eucalyptus in personal care routines, diluting a few drops in carrier oil or water to create gentle sprays or bath soaks that lend antibacterial and deodorizing effects. Another common home remedy involves using apple cider vinegar, taken orally in small diluted doses or applied topically in select areas, to balance the skin's pH and deter bacterial overgrowth, although it should be used sparingly to avoid irritation. Consistency becomes the key in applying these approaches, because sporadic efforts rarely produce the same level of odor control that arises from systematic, routine care. Meanwhile, seniors who battle with incontinence or frequent leaks can explore specialized pads, undergarments, or mattress protectors designed to lock away moisture and minimize lingering smells, reducing discomfort and embarrassment in the process. Simple stress reduction practices such as yoga, meditation, or even gentle stretching can help regulate hormones and manage anxiety, which in turn may diminish stress-induced perspiration, a hidden contributor to odor spikes. By tackling stress directly, older adults often notice that sweat levels recede, making other odor-mitigating strategies more effective. At the same time, creating a daily habit of changing clothes midday, particularly if they are damp from exertion or warm weather, prevents bacterial colonies from taking hold, and it leaves the skin feeling fresher for longer periods. Seniors dealing with arthritis or mobility issues might consider installing bathing aids, grab bars, shower stools, or handheld shower heads that enable thorough washing without the strain or risk of slips, ensuring better personal hygiene and reducing the chance of missed spots that foster odors. Beyond physical tools, scheduling a consistent bath or shower time when energy is highest can help those who tire easily manage cleanliness more effectively, enhancing both comfort and odor control. While some older adults prefer to mask smells with room sprays or scented candles, these can merely camouflage rather than address the underlying issue, so it is more beneficial to open windows or use exhaust fans for genuine odor elimination. For closets and drawers prone to musty smells, placing activated charcoal bags or small bowls of baking soda can absorb excess moisture and remove unpleasant scents from clothing before they transfer to the body. Seniors who smoke or live with smokers might see a marked improvement in body odor by reducing or eliminating tobacco exposure. Since smoke particles cling to skin, hair, and clothing, layering unpleasant scents on top of any existing bodily smells. Substituting unprocessed, fresh foods for heavily spiced or fried meals further supports lifestyle modifications, since a nutritious diet aligns with home remedies by reducing the metabolic burden that produces stronger body odors. It is also worth noting that posture and body mechanics can affect how the skin folds or traps moisture. So gentle exercises or physical therapy that improve posture might unexpectedly reduce sweat accumulation in certain areas. Integrated, practical solutions, like storing personal hygiene products within easy reach or labeling toiletry bottles with large print, can encourage seniors to adopt routine care with minimal confusion, especially when mobility or cognitive challenges arise. Using natural disinfectants for household cleaning, such as vinegar or diluted hydrogen peroxide, helps rid the living space of lingering germs without introducing overpowering chemical odors that might mix poorly with personal scents. Encouraging small yet meaningful social connections, like weekly visits from a friend or relative, can boost motivation to maintain good hygiene, as having people around often inspires seniors to be more attentive to odors and overall cleanliness. Should dryness or skin irritation become an issue, applying fragrance-free lotions or ointments keeps the skin barrier intact, deterring bacteria from penetrating vulnerable areas and proliferating. In warmer climates, lightly spraying body-safe mineral water on the face or neck can offer a cooling effect that wards off excessive perspiration, especially when combined with a portable fan, since unrecognized tooth decay or gum disease can sabotage even the best hygiene habits. Investing in high-quality dental care tools, like an electric toothbrush or water flosser, plays a significant role in controlling breath odors that otherwise spread into personal spaces. Routine tasks like wiping down shoes, canes, or walkers with antibacterial wipes ensure that no hidden spot becomes a hotbed for microbes, carrying smelly residues around the home. In group living arrangements, forming a culture of openness about daily routines helps seniors share tips with each other, collectively maintaining a fresher environment that benefits everyone. Meanwhile, placing dehumidifiers in damp areas prevents mold, another silent accomplice to unpleasant odors that can complicate senior-specific challenges. Emphasizing individual empowerment whenever possible instills a sense of pride and routine, reducing the shame that can come with feeling powerless against persistent odors. If body hair exacerbates sweat retention, trimming or shaving judiciously, particularly under the arms, can provide relief, so long as it is done safely with appropriate razors or clippers suitable for sensitive, thinning skin. Maintaining balanced humidity in the home, generally around 40–50%, also helps curb bacterial and fungal growth, ensuring seniors have one less contributor to body or environmental smells. Pairing these measures with mind-body practices, like Tai Chi or moderate walking, further aids circulation, helps balance hormones, and encourages regular sweating under controlled conditions, making it less likely for toxins to accumulate. Setting small, attainable goals, like bathing at a certain time or soaking feet twice a week, provides structure that helps ensure consistency, gradually normalizing good hygiene practices as a comforting ritual rather than a laborious chore. Coordinating with caregivers, family members, or professional assistants to implement these techniques can produce swift improvements and foster a shared sense of accomplishment, reminding the senior that they are not alone in the battle against unwanted odors. Even mundane tips, such as hanging clothes to air out after wearing them once or quickly rinsing washcloths between uses, can have a cumulative impact on odor control, especially when layered alongside more robust remedies. In essence, these practical home remedies and lifestyle modifications empower seniors to maintain dignity and comfort by transforming daily routines into opportunities for meaningful self-care, all while minimizing the shame and isolation that too often arise when chronic smells remain unchallenged. Long-term maintenance and preventive measures revolve around creating a sustainable routine that addresses senior odor from multiple angles, ensuring that small, consistent efforts add up to significant benefits over time while averting the emotional and social pitfalls tied to recurring issues. Achieving this level of prevention often starts with scheduling regular checkups, during which healthcare providers can track fluctuations in hormone levels, kidney and liver function, and other vital indicators that heavily influence how the body manages odor-causing compounds. By investing in routine blood work and metabolic assessments, seniors can detect changes early, such as developing thyroid imbalances or nutrient deficiencies, and adjust their strategies accordingly before the symptoms intensify. This proactive approach extends to medication reviews every few months, allowing geriatric specialists to identify potential side effects that provoke stronger bodily scents or spark bacterial overgrowth, thereby fine-tuning prescriptions to minimize unintended consequences. It also pays to establish a firm exercise regimen tailored to individual capabilities and health conditions that aids circulation, promotes sweat detoxification, and builds muscle mass, reducing the body's vulnerability to stagnation and odor accumulation. Even low-impact activities such as regular walks, chair yoga, or swimming can help seniors regulate body temperature, maintain healthy circulation, and flush out toxins that, if left unchecked, could intensify unpleasant smells. Proper skincare builds on these active habits by emphasizing gentle cleansing, daily moisturization, and vigilance against fungal or bacterial infections, especially in areas prone to friction and sweat. Trimming body hair, when done safely, can make long-term hygiene more manageable, while the consistent use of mild antibacterial cleansers keeps the skin's microbiome balanced and less prone to harboring odor-causing microbes. For older adults residing in climates with high humidity or extreme heat, adopting climate-conscious measures, like air conditioning, dehumidifiers, or moisture-wicking clothing, prevents sweat from pooling, which, over time, reduces the likelihood of bacterial proliferation. A vital aspect of ongoing odor management involves continuously refining dietary practices to sustain optimal nutrient intake, because slipping back into old eating habits or becoming complacent about hydration can quickly undo months of progress. Meal planning, grocery shopping strategies, and regular consults with nutritionists help maintain a healthy weight and robust gut flora, two pillars that determine whether the body efficiently expels toxins or recirculates them through sweat. Seniors can deepen their understanding of preventive measures by attending workshops or support groups that focus on geriatric well-being, where they can exchange experiences and learn fresh approaches for tackling odor-related concerns before they become unmanageable. Maintaining an up-to-date medication list shared among physicians, pharmacists, and caregivers is another wise precaution, ensuring that any new or discontinued drugs do not slip under the radar as possible triggers for odor changes. Because dental health profoundly impacts breath odor, scheduling biannual or even quarterly dental cleanings ensures plaque and tartar do not accumulate, warding off gum disease and associated smells. Taking advantage of new technologies, such as wearable health monitors, can also facilitate long-term vigilance, providing insights into hydration levels, physical activity patterns, and even reminders to perform daily hygiene tasks. This systematic approach to self-care includes learning how to detect the earliest signs of infection or inflammation, like redness, swelling, or increased sensitivity, so that timely action can be taken, thwarting the steady buildup of substances that feed into unpleasant aromas. Meanwhile, seniors with cognitive or mobility challenges benefit from personalized care plans that incorporate assistive devices, home modifications, and predictable routines, ensuring consistency in bathing, laundry, and personal grooming, all of which directly decrease odor risks. Furthermore, building and nurturing a robust social network helps keep older adults engaged and active, reducing stress and depression that can wreak havoc on hormonal balance, sweat composition, and motivation to maintain hygiene. The encouragement and accountability offered by friends, family, or volunteer groups often propel seniors to sustain their preventive habits, reminding them that consistent effort translates into ongoing relief from the worry of offensive odors. Optimizing sleep quality by establishing a regular bedtime, managing conditions like sleep apnea, and maintaining comfortable bedroom temperatures also leads to more balanced hormone production and reduced sweat irregularities, particularly beneficial for controlling nighttime odors. Keeping a simple odor journal, whether written or digital, allows individuals to track patterns in their day-to-day smell profile, noting any correlations between diet, medication changes, emotional states, and odor intensity, so they can intervene early. In parallel, certain preventive measures focus on maintaining clean, well-ventilated surroundings over the long term, like periodically washing curtains, vacuuming carpets, and disinfecting frequently touched surfaces to cut down on environmental contributors to odor. Rather than seeing these tasks as chores, reframing them as investments in personal dignity and social comfort can make the process more rewarding, driving home the connection between cleanliness and overall well-being. Likewise, seniors can rotate and air out stored clothing every few months, ensuring garments stay fresh and do not accumulate musty smells that might migrate onto skin during wear. Over time, the body's needs inevitably shift. Metabolism slow, immune responses change, and chronic conditions evolve. So staying adaptable becomes crucial, recognizing that a method that worked last year might require modification or supplementation now. This flexibility might mean altering bathing frequency, experimenting with new skincare formulas, or seeking updated nutritional advice, all governed by the overarching goal of preventing odor rather than merely reacting to it. Checking in with a trusted healthcare professional about vitamins, probiotics, or targeted supplements can serve as a preventive measure, because even minor deficiencies or imbalances can gradually amplify odor issues when left uncorrected. For seniors living with spouses or in communal settings, it is vital to foster a cooperative atmosphere, where each person respects and supports the other's preventive habits, possibly coordinating shared mealtimes, exercise sessions, or household cleaning routines. Carefully managing mental health remains a cornerstone in the long run, since anxiety, depression, or chronic stress can undermine even the best personal care efforts, intensifying bodily aromas through altered sweat chemistry and compromised immune resilience. Engaging in creative outlets, such as painting, gardening, or music, helps buffer stress and keep seniors mentally stimulated, thus contributing to a more positive and motivated outlook on odor prevention. Self-check protocols, where individuals examine hard-to-reach body regions for signs of dermatitis or infection, play a significant role in early detection, ensuring that small issues do not escalate into chronic odor sources. Seniors should also remain aware of the evolving array of hygiene products specifically designed for mature skin or specialized concerns, such as medicated body washes for fungal issues or deodorants formulated without harsh irritants. As technology advances, emerging tools, like handheld odor sensors or smartphone apps that track ambient humidity and body temperature, may offer new layers of prevention, helping older adults stay one step ahead of potential odor spikes. Seasonal transitions deserve special consideration as well, since temperature and humidity extremes can necessitate adjusting skincare, shower schedules, or the types of fabrics worn. Creating a budget for ongoing hygiene and personal care items can ease the financial pressure that sometimes prompts seniors to skimp on essential products, ensuring they always have reliable means to maintain cleanliness and freshness. Planning social events around times when seniors feel most energetic and confident in their odor control regimen can lessen stress, transforming potential triggers into comfortable, enjoyable gatherings. In a long-term outlook, daily routines incorporating thorough cleansing, smart nutrition, regular exercise, emotional balance, and medical supervision lock into place like pieces of a puzzle, yielding a synergy that keeps odor in check with minimal surprises or setbacks. Family members who notice changes in a senior's routine or overall demeanor can gently intervene, helping reinforce the importance of continued diligence, particularly if the older adult becomes apathetic or forgetful about critical tasks. Psychological reinforcement, like celebrating improvements or milestones, can cement new habits in a senior's mindset, highlighting the personal pride and social ease that follow consistent odor prevention. With the right balance of vigilance, openness to adaptation, and support networks, long-term odor management can become second nature, a background routine that frees seniors to focus on richer aspects of life, such as friendships, hobbies, and meaningful pursuits. Just as a well-tuned car requires regular oil changes, an aging body needs periodic tune-ups, medical, nutritional, and hygienic, to function without producing distressing or embarrassing scents. In essence, the idea of maintenance expands beyond mere damage control, evolving into a philosophy of sustained self-care that acknowledges the complexities of aging while refusing to let preventable odors dictate quality of life. Over years and even decades, seniors who embrace these preventive principles typically find that modest, ongoing diligence spares them profound discomfort, social isolation, and the burden of frantic last-minute solutions. Truly prioritizing these measures cements the knowledge that senior odor is neither a foregone conclusion nor an irreversible hazard, but a manageable aspect of human biology that responds to deliberate attention. Ultimately, long-term maintenance and preventive measures function as a protective framework, weaving together medical insight, practical habits, and psychological well-being to ensure that seniors remain empowered, comfortable, and respected at every stage of the aging journey.